Hey everybody, it's Peter from Brantford Kia, and welcome to our live video series. Today we're talking about a video that you guys have been asking for a while. Now, to be fair, we did this sort of in the past. We talked about Kia EVs versus a Tesla. I happened to have a Tesla Model X at the time, and some of you got very upset that I didn't compare it to a Tesla Model 3. Well, we don't sell Tesla Model 3s except for this one. We just got this model in. So we're going to do the video you've been asking for. We're going to say, why would you buy a Kia EV over a Tesla Model 3? And people think this is like a crazy thing. Like, oh my goodness, you can't compare it to a Tesla. You're going to lose. Well, here's the thing. A lot of our customers happen to buy these cars, and they buy them while considering the Tesla Model 3, and they still choose ours. So we're going to talk about some of the reasons that they buy that. Now, first of all, let's talk biases. Am I biased towards the Kia product? I work at a Kia dealer. This is a video for a Kia dealer channel. That being said, we have more subscribers than 14 automotive brands in Canada. We have millions and millions of views. One of the reasons that we do well is because we're honest. It's just easy. So let's be really clear. Do I have a bias towards a Kia product? Sure, I do. Do I have a bias towards a Tesla product? I do. I like them. I like Teslas a lot. I always have. I'm a fan. I drive an EV myself. So we're going to talk about all of these things. Now, just normally what we do, we're at about a minute and a half in right now. If you want to watch the actual video, skip ahead to the 3-minute mark if you're not watching with us live. That's where we're going to really get into things. And we're going to stick around for at least a half an hour. We might go long today based on your questions, based on other things, and based on how we sort of see things. But basically, the first half hour, we're going to stay on topic. Real quick, in the next minute or so, let me show you how to join us live. I'm hoping that I can earn your subscription to this video, to our channel, and also that I can earn your subscription or that you're like on this video. So let me just show you how to join us live. You go to our YouTube channel. It's Brantford Kia. Every weekday we go live at 2 o'clock, and you just refresh the page at 2 o'clock. We're a little bit later today. Part of the reason we're late, we'll talk about that in a second. Sometimes you can see our live video right here on the homepage. That's been pretty reliable the past couple days. But if it's not right here at 2 o'clock Eastern time, just go to the video section right here and click that. The first video will have this live tab. You click that and you're in the video. Now, please rate your ads experience on YouTube recently. Let's just skip that. Okay, so we're going to watch an ad for a second together. There we go. So what I'm doing is I'm just blowing this up. I'm going to put some of your comments over on the big screen because when I miss them, it just makes it a little easier to see. So bear with me as I just get set up here. Apple TV, there we go. Now I can see some of your comments over there. So we've got a bunch of people on already. All right, if you're watching right now, do me one favor, hit the like button. I've got 15 people watching. Let's see if we can get 15 likes. Again, this is not something to trash anybody's car. If you want an honest opinion about these cars, that's what I'm going to try to do. Now, I will tell you that the focus of this video is going to say, why would people buy a Kia over a Tesla? So we're at the 3-minute mark right now. I should probably repeat that just real quick. Real quick, if you're just joining us for the first time, I'm not here to trash the Tesla. I like the Tesla. What the point of this video is going to be is let's talk about some reasons why you might buy a Kia over a Tesla. Now, to be fair, this Tesla just showed up. I was going to clean the Nero up. The Soul looks pretty clean to me. I didn't clean the Nero because I didn't get a chance to clean the Tesla. So just trying to be as fair as I can be here. There are some advantages to the Tesla. There are some advantages to the Kia product, and the choice is always yours. We sell, we're a leader in electric vehicle sales here in Ontario, and we sell a lot of Kia EVs. We also sell a lot of used Teslas. That's why we have this Model 3 in stock, and I haven't had a Model 3 in stock available for a video, I think, ever. So this is the first Model 3 I'm putting on video. So that's why we're going to talk about these. Other things that I should mention, I own a EV. I happen to own a Kia Soul EV. I absolutely love that car, and that's pretty common around EV people, that they love their cars. Tesla owners love their Teslas for the most part. Kia owners love their Kias, especially the EVs for the most part. All right, so here we go. Some of you are already trashing Tesla. I'm not here to do that. Like I said, I quite like this car. So let's take a look at what we've got in here. And I'm going to tell you why I like some things and why I don't like some things. First of all, I think they nailed the Tesla 3 look. It's a sleek looking car. It looks like a performance car. And frankly, it is. The one we're looking at right now is a 2019 model. It's the standard range, the lowest range version, and it's rear wheel drive. It goes 0 to 60 in about 5.6 seconds. Tesla says it gets 402 kilometers of range. Let's talk range real quickly. Kia vehicles, these two here, they get 385 and 383 kilometers range. So 385, 383 of rated range. I will say you're going to see that these vehicles get more range than that. What we found from our Tesla owners is they tend to not quite get the range that a Tesla gets. And we have the opposite with a Kia. They tend to get more range than they expect, and certainly more than the rated range in ideal conditions. Now, part of that, in my theory, could be that Tesla drivers are driving their cars a little bit more aggressively. They buy them because they're a sporty style car, and that's a possibility. So let's keep that out there as a fact. But 402 kilometers of range. We're going to take a quick look at the Tesla, just a quick, brief look inside, and then we're going to go around and take a quick, brief look inside the other vehicles. So, real quick, some people like these things and some people don't. A little bit unique door handles. How do they work? Pretty simple. You put your thumb in here, you pull it out like this, and the key is in this car. Now, oh, no, it's not in the car. It's over here. Key for a Tesla Model 3. Little card. Kind of cool. You can keep it in your wallet if you want it, I suppose. I'm not sure if you like this or don't. The complaint we hear against Tesla, just one of the common things we hear, is things are a little bit weird in that car. And I would say if you're coming from a gasoline car, things are a little different in a Tesla than they would be in our EVs. And we're going to talk about that in a second. So I'm going to put this key in my pocket, and we're going to hope that I don't forget it there later. All right, so hopping in here, Teslas are known for very minimal controls. Now I'm just going to put the seat where I need it real quick. Here's the steering wheel. Very simple controls, no English language on anything at all. So, it's typical stock over there. Uniquely weird indeed. Yeah, uniquely weird. So that's kind of like me, I guess. You've got some cool things going on here. Let's be honest. The 17-inch screen looks pretty cool. It's also one of the drawbacks of this car. People are very familiar with having controls and stuff over in this area, and you don't have that here. So we're going to take a quick look at just some of the things in this vehicle. Let's talk about controls. So we've got automatic lights, we've got mirrors, steering wheel, we can adjust those kinds of things. Let's go to the driving section right now. Acceleration is standard and chill. Of course, if you have a higher performance model, you get different things. We've seen Ludicrous and Ludicrous Plus mode in some of the vehicles we've had here. Steering modes, comfort, standard, sport, regenerative braking, low and standard. So keep in mind some of these things that we're showing you because we're going to talk about why you might want to buy a Kia instead of this stuff. The big one I get asked all the time is about Autopilot. Well, let's talk about Autopilot. Full self-driving visualization preview. Let's be honest, this car does not have full self-driving. If it does, it's very expensive. What it has is something that Tesla calls Autopilot, which is really auto steering, auto braking. Just spoiler alert, about a $22,000 Kia will also have auto steering to an extent. And those kinds of things. So we're going to talk about the differences in that. You do get a version of that here. And I think, to be honest, the reason we get that in our Kia vehicles is because Tesla offers it in their vehicles. Navigation, pretty cool system here. You guys all saw on the home screen there, basically Google Maps. What's cool is, we'll talk about that in a second, actually. We'll show you on some of the Kias as well. Some cool stuff. So we'll go to driving. Now, one thing I don't like about Tesla's thing, and this is a complaint we hear from some of our customers, it's a little bit more difficult to find things. So, for instance, my heated seats are here. I can turn them on, and that's no problem. But it's just a little bit different to understand. Once you get used to it, it's pretty familiar. But there are areas where, again, you're searching in this screen to do anything. Put the car in drive, and it's angry at me for some. Oh, I didn't put the key where they want me to put it. So there's another thing that's a little different with a Tesla. It's telling me to put the key down here. Okay, I can do that for you. There we go. Now it's happy. I'm glad it's happy with me. All right. Put the car in drive for a second, and you're going to see, it shows a little different view. Now, it's got parking sensors in the front and parking sensors in the rear. Different way of doing it. I like Tesla's way of doing it. We're going to roll forward here for a little bit just because we can. We're electric vehicles, so as we roll a little bit forward, I'm going to go nice and slow, so I'm going to watch where I'm driving, not where it's car. So you can see the parking sensors are pretty cool. They show you kind of where you're going to hit, and then it starts showing you in centimeters. Now, that's cool. I wish more cars did that. Distance in centimeters is pretty accurate. If it's accurate, it's good. Check out the backup camera. Pretty good, too. I'm going to argue that it's a little bit bigger than in the Kia. I'm going to argue it's also not quite as clear. Now, that's going to be hard to prove on a video. Some of you may argue with me. It is very clear, but Kias are excellent as far as that. So good backup cameras, beepers, front and rear. Going to put the car in park for a second, get back to this screen. There's lots of things you can do. Folding mirrors, interesting stuff. This one happens to be rear wheel drive. Our EVs are front wheel drive. And so we'll talk about that as well. Software updates over the air, very cool. But we're going to talk about that as well. So let's just hop out of this car. One thing I want to show you here is we scroll down the dash. There's nothing else here. There's a little container here. I will say two things I'm going to notice off the bat that I'm a little disappointed in. Everything's very plasticky feeling, very plasticky. It is. And for a $50,000 car, maybe it shouldn't be. The other thing is, I'm just going to flip the camera around here. We're going to talk about seating comfort in a little bit. Interesting coloring on my face there. One thing I noticed is I'm not a broad-hipped person. It's a little tighter in the hips here than in the Niro. That's something I've heard from in the past, but yeah, I can verify that it is a little narrower here. Interesting looking design. I quite like the minimalistic design. I quite like the wood in there, but it's a simple car. It's really, simplicity is key. Some people like that. Some people don't. That's fine. One thing I like, and Kia, this is where you screwed up big time. Look at the sunroof on here. Huge sunroof there. Big sunroof in the back as well. There's Chuck sneaking out the door. I don't know if you saw that there. Anyways, but big rear window. And again, that rear window is all the way up to a sunroof style thing and a sunroof here. Now, a massive sunroof is cool. It does not open. But again, I think Kia could have done better. We'll talk about that in a second. So let's just jump out of this car for a second. It's 11 minutes into our roughly 30-minute video, which we're going to go long today. But let me just show you. We'll start in the Soul and the Niro. Actually, I don't know. We'll start in one of them. The other thing, to open the door, no information here, just a button, and that is your door handle. That opens the door there. So, just again, no English, a little bit different things. It's, it's just different. I quite like the car, but there's a lot to just be unfamiliar with. And one of the things we do well is we're familiar. So we're going to talk about things let's start with the Niro here. Again, I did not clean the Niro. There's stuff going on that I would have liked to do better. But again, the Tesla showed up late, and I wanted to do this video today for you. Here we go. Normal keyless entry type fob. One thing the Tesla does not have is a start button. And I think it should. You're going to notice right away a lot more buttons here. Now, to be fair, the clean look of the Tesla looks pretty cool. But here's the thing. This car is easier to use. And that's not me saying that. That's our customers. That's a lot of people. It has a normal start button. Put your foot on the brake, hit the start button. Things come to life like normal. You have a dash where you expect it. I'm going to put the seat back to where I'm comfortable here, just so, because we're going to compare rear seat space in a second as well. Then you can see the range is 216 kilometers. So the Tesla, like I said, rated for 402. This one is rated for less than that, rated for 385 kilometers. Now, here's the crazy thing. Let's start digging into what the range actually is. There's a screen protector on the screen. We're going to take that off. Okay, so let's see what the range actually is in this car right now. 455 kilometers of rated range. People are shocked to see this, but that's real world range. We've had these cars drive over 455 kilometers all summer, all spring, all fall. Only in the winter do we see people driving less than that range. Less than 383 for sure, or 385 in this car. But 455 is pretty common. We have a number of Niro, actually not a huge number, but there are some Niro buyers that regularly, Niro EV buyers regularly have over 500 kilometers. So the whole idea that you're going to get a whole lot more range in a Tesla, it just isn't true. Real world range in a Kia, people are getting this range, 455 kilometers. I can drive this car today and get you that range, no problem. You can come with me. Charge stations, we can see various charge times there. It's kind of helpful. So you do have that. Now, we had a 17-inch screen here, and you can see the real difference. This is a 10.25-inch screen. The real difference in that screen, it's probably a little bit wider, but it's just deeper. Now, it has a pretty cool navigation. Ours has a navigation as well. It can go full screen just like it's showing you right now. Looks very similar to the Tesla, to be honest. It looks, clarity is there as well. One thing that's cool, if you go to my Instagram, I'll show you that a little bit later. It's Peter_Brantford_Kia. This has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which means they better integrate with your cell phone. When you go on Google Maps on either of those, you can go satellite view and you can get a pretty cool look in here. The resolution of the screen is fantastic, and it's a pretty good system. Over here, let's talk self-driving. Let's talk Autopilot. That's the big, let's just talk self-driving in general. Most Kias, certainly in this price range, can steer themselves. They keep themselves centered in the lane. That is part of our lane keep and lane follow assist. Let's quickly talk about what that is. Lane keeping assist sees the lane markers in the road, keeps you centered. What happens if there's no lane marker, let's say on the right side or maybe the left side? Well, then it designs its own artificial lane markers and still keeps you centered in the lane. So when you're driving down that country road with the yellow line over here and the gravel over here, the Kia can figure out where that lane is. As long as you're above 60 kilometers an hour, it's going to keep you centered in the lane. Now, you're supposed to keep your hands on the wheel. And of course, we always do. But I'm just going to say, those of us that test it without our hands on the wheel will find that this car does go around bends on its own. It can certainly keep self-centered in lane. You have that. Now let's talk smart cruise control. Smart cruise control is something I use in traffic all the time, and it works so much better on an EV than a gas car. So what that can do is accelerate and brake to the speed that you have it set at. If a car comes in front of you, it will slow down. If a car clears, it will speed up, and you don't have to touch the gas or brake. So I came from the Toronto airport to Brantford using smart cruise control, didn't touch the gas or brake once. And the car, for the most part, steered itself in the center lane. I had fingers on the wheel, but it was steering itself in the center lane the entire way. That's not unique to our EVs. Like I said, a $22,000, $23,000, $25,000 Kia has those features available to them. Let's talk regenerative braking. You saw the 2 regenerative braking levels on the Tesla. You have paddle shifters here. What that means is that on the fly, you can change the regenerative braking from no regenerative braking to quite a bit of regenerative braking. You can see there's 3 arrows here. They tell you there's 3 layers. I did a video the other day showing you how there's actually 5 settings of regenerative braking, but 3 kind of more obvious ones. So you have more choice in your regenerative braking in a Kia. Blind spot detection, that's really part of Kia does it through a light over here. You have that in a Tesla. They do it through showing the screen over here. Better visual display for sure in the Tesla, but same functionality here. Rear cross traffic alert in this car as well, which is a nice functionality to have as well. So we're going to talk about that. LED lights on both cars, automatic high beams. Now I will say, I don't know about the Tesla Model 3, but when I've driven the Tesla in the past with the automatic high beams, what happens is the high beams will turn themselves on when you're on a country road and dim themselves when somebody's oncoming or when you approach someone in front of you. The difference between Tesla's system in the past that I've driven, now it may be different on the Tesla Model 3 beside me, but you Tesla guys will know for sure. The automatic high beams on the Kia will turn off when there's city lights on. In other words, you can basically run your high beams the whole time and they won't turn on when they shouldn't. Tesla's will stay on in town. At least the Teslas that I've driven in the past, they'll stay on in town. So just something to keep in mind if you're driving a Tesla. Another pretty cool thing, we talked about parking the car. Let's just do the exact same thing that we did before. Let's go in reverse instead of forward this time. So in reverse, you can see here on the Tesla, or on the Niro compared to the Tesla, right away it sees something in front of me there. I'm going reverse, 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 reverse. Hey, it tells me I'm approaching something. The Tesla does the same basic thing. As I get a little closer, it tells me, oh, now it's yellow, and it will go to red, and you can see that there. So very similar thing in the Tesla. We can do the same thing going forward. You're going to see if I pull forward here, I'm taking a look. Right there, it's telling me in the green dash there, I'm approaching something. Now, to be fair, the Tesla does it smart. They tell you in centimeters. As long as it's accurate, you can go right to the centimeter. But this does a pretty good job of telling you as well. And that's a common thing that people like about the Tesla. It's right here in the Niro. And a great clear backup camera as well. I would argue our camera is a little clearer, but it is not quite as big. So it is still very large for the class. But not quite as big. So I know a lot of you are asking questions. We're going to get to your questions in a second. Going to come down here. We've got an auto climate control. We're going to come down here. We're going to talk about one other feature that people quite like in this car that you're not going to see in the Tesla. Rump roasters is what I like to call the heated seats. We have ventilated seats in both of these cars. If you want ventilated seats on your leather seats, the Kia is the way to go. The Tesla does not have that on the Model 3 in the same price point. So you have that ability in these cars to keep you a little bit better ventilated seats, and they're very easy to find controls, right? You've got your heated steering wheel over here, ventilated seats for the passenger, heated seats up front. I don't know if the Tesla has heated seats in the rear. Both of these cars do, 2 levels of rear heated seat heating. I will say, although they're still plasticky things, you don't feel a little bit as plasticky around here. You've got just more solid feeling things. You've got a wireless phone charger down here. I don't know if the Model 3 has that at this same price level. Like I mentioned, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. Those are standard in the Kias, not in the Tesla. You've also got you've got UVO Intelligence here in Canada. Tesla, of course, can control their vehicle from an app. So can Kia. We've got the same, not the exact same functionality, but much of the same functionality in the Kias. Kia has a sunroof that opens. Tesla has a bigger sunroof that does not open. So that is an opening sunroof there. Let's just take a look at the Soul for one quick second. A lot of the same stuff in the Soul you're going to see over here. But again, easy to understand controls. One thing I do like about the Soul, I don't know if I mentioned power seats in both of these cars. Let's turn this vehicle on. This one has a start button down here. We mentioned, again, the Tesla does not have a start button. A little bit unfamiliar for people. I think people like having a start button from what our customers are saying. It's kind of cool to not have one, but now heads-up displays are impossible to show on camera, but you have a heads-up display. So again, trying to get it to focus, it will not focus. I can put a lot of information on that heads-up display. Now let's talk about that for a second, because the Tesla, again, all of your information is right over here. Now I have information in here, and I have information up in the heads-up display. Now again, hard to film, easy to see in real life. You can get a lot of information in there. You can get navigation information. You can get your blind spot information. You can get your lane keeping assist information. You can have all kinds of stuff. So you end up with a lot of features here that make you familiar, make you comfortable, and you're not really giving up a whole lot by getting into the Kia. So let's just talk real quick here. Let's do the same thing with the range. Just talk real world range, what you actually get. 465 kilometers is what this car would have if it's fully charged. So again, 402 on the Tesla. We're finding from our personal experience that Tesla range does not quite match up. The rated range doesn't quite match up with the way we drive it. To be fair, we might drive the Tesla cars a little bit more aggressively than we drive some of our cars. However, 465, 455, mid 400s, pretty common in the Kia EVs. So let's take a look down here. Automatic climate control, that's of course part of the vehicle, heat EVs, that kind of thing. You've got battery warming technology in both these cars. You've got heat pumps that will recapture regenerative braking heat, throw that back in, that helps prolong range. Wireless phone charger in both the Kias, ventilated seats here in both the Kias, drive modes here. You've got 3 drive modes. The Tesla had 2, so you've got Eco, Normal, and Sport. You actually have an Eco Plus mode as well, which helps you get very good Eco Plus will help you if you're running out of range. You can go right to that crazy lowest mode. Auto hold is an interesting function. It's part of the electronic parking brake. On a Tesla, you can set the car up to creep, so it creeps forward when you let go of the brake. If you don't want this car to do that, you just go to the auto hold. So again, same functionality, different title. Gear shift is very common in ours. Some people like these better than the Tesla. I don't have any issue with the Tesla. They basically copy Mercedes for their gear shift. But this makes a lot of sense to people as well. It's pretty easy to use. Again, the heated seats, ventilated seats. You have some ambient lighting in here, which is pretty cool. It's hard to see, but I'll show you in here. Ambient lighting in both our vehicles. This one happens to have it through there. All of this just looks like a plastic panel, but at night, that whole thing lights up. You can kind of see that purple carry right out onto there. You can change the color in that. You can change lots of stuff. Again, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, both these cars. Lots of display stuff here. And the responsiveness of these screens. People used to say Tesla had great responsiveness. You can see excellent responsiveness in these screens as well. Now, here's where Kia screwed up. Remember I said Tesla's got that massive sunroof? Kia, you made a mistake. Here's the Kia Soul sunroof. It's a regular size sunroof. The previous model Kia Soul had a panoramic sunroof and the front opened. We could have had a better sunroof than Tesla. Instead, we have a small one. It does open, but that's where they screwed up. So there's kind of the basics of these cars. We're going to look at trunk space. We're going to talk about that. We're going to look at rear seat space. That's a big difference. I already mentioned the seats on the Tesla here, a little bit narrower. For me, they're a little bit less comfortable. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to be less comfortable for you, but I will say for me, they are a little bit narrower at the hip, and that's something that I don't love about them. Somebody's mentioning warranties and other things. Yeah, warranties are good on both. Kia has a longer overall vehicle warranty. Let's talk about quality. This is not me being biased. The most recent J.D. Power initial quality study. First of all, Kia has been in first place in that study for 6 years in a row as a top mainstream brand. 6 years in a row as a top initial quality brand. Tesla currently, on the most recent one, is the lowest rated initial quality brand. Kia is the highest rated quality brand. That matters. Let's talk about one more thing before we take your questions, and I will do that in a second. One of the questions we get about Tesla, and this is something that is, we get this about Kia. Let's start with Kia. People complain to me, and rightly so, very rightly so, that when they go to a Kia dealer, 1, they can't see the cars. 2, nobody knows about them, and they just want to sell me a hybrid Niro or a gasoline Soul. That's what we hear all the time. So here's the thing. It used to be you couldn't drive the Niro, couldn't drive the Soul. We have a number of Niros in stock. We have a number of Niro EVs in stock, Niro PHEVs in stock, Niro hybrids in stock. We have a number of Kia Soul EVs in stock, low range, long range. We didn't even talk about the low range one. You can get into these cars at a lower price with most of the features that you've already seen. All of those vehicles can be driven. Here's the thing with Tesla. Very difficult to drive these cars first. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. The other problem is if you have a question and you want to buy an EV, we always tell people buy from us. And I'm really serious about this. Buy from us because a lot of Kia dealers, like you've found out, haven't done the research that we've done. They haven't gone up to the level that we've come up to with knowing these cars. You buy a Kia Niro EV from our dealership, you buy a Kia Soul EV from our dealership, you get my contact information. You can reach me in work or out of work. I will talk you through what's going on. I will answer your questions. If I don't have an answer to your question, I know who to call. I can get the answer to your question. I will call you back. Who at Tesla is going to answer your call? You might be able to tweet at Elon Musk. Sometimes he tweets back. But I'm just saying that's one thing to keep in mind. It is great that they have a network that allows cars to update over the air. They can do some pretty cool things. But sometimes you just want to talk to a person. How do I do this? How does this work? What do you do? You get me. You get me, and you get a team of people here that are trained and know these cars as well as I do. So it's not just me here. All right, let's take your questions real quick. We're 25 minutes in. If I haven't earned your like yet, I got 16 likes. 20 of you are watching right now. Let's talk what you've got for questions. So let's just spin the car around here, or the camera around, so you can look at the Tesla. I still think it's a pretty cool looking car. I really like the look of that car. All right, let's see. Both fantastic cars. Kia, yep. Kia's got some good rebates. How do you get your Tesla serviced? Yep, there we go. Okay. 20,000 miles, you've never seen a shop. Okay, so this is the other, let's talk about myths with EV cars. I just want to be real cautious here. A lot of Tesla owners will drive their cars and never have them serviced. That's not what Tesla recommends. That's just the short answer. That's not what Tesla recommends. You do need service on these cars. You need various services. There are things that need to happen. EVs in general, way less service. What I encourage our people to do with their EVs is do your brake services. You're using your brakes a lot less than you would normally. Every brake, including on the Tesla here, can develop rust. Let's take a look. This car is 1 year old. There is rust in there. There's corrosion in there. And there will be corrosion in other parts of those brakes. Doing a brake service helps you in a big way. Because again, those brakes aren't used very much. If you keep some lubrication in there, you keep other things in there, you're going to have brakes that grab and release. And with a Kia logo on, I can't say how long your brakes will last, but I can tell you they're going to last a long, long time when you do things like your brake services. There are fluid changes that need to be done in both these cars at certain intervals. But of course, no oil changes. That makes it easy. All right, let's see what else you have for questions. If I've missed your question, just go ahead and ask it again right now. I see a bunch of comments there, and some of it's just comments, but if there's a question, just ask it again. What a spaceship setup. Yeah, exactly. Okay, heated seats. There we go. You guys are having a conversation that I would not have time to read until I'm done. So again, if you guys have questions, just please let me know in the question section, because there's a number of comments here that I'm not sure if I can pick out the question really quickly. But go ahead and ask the question. Tesla has no Apple CarPlay no matter how much you pay, and I love it in the Kia, although my Kia does not have navigation, but the Navi on the iPhone is better, so what can you do? Yeah, so both of our Kia EVs have navigation, factory navigation. Even the low-level, the lower range Soul EV, that's our least expensive Soul, or least expensive EV, it will have factory navigation. But again, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, excellent system. You can't get in the Tesla. It's kind of silly that you can't, because it should be able to do it. But yeah, so that's one thing. Was a Tesla trade-in? No, we search out Teslas. This particular one we searched out and bought, and we do sell a lot of used cars. And like I said, we have nothing against this car. In fact, we think this car has driven our cars to be better. That being said, at the price point, the question in the video is, why would you buy a Kia over a Tesla? And I think there's answers there. I didn't see a ton of questions through there. I apologize if I'm missing them. Feel free to ask them again. We're going to move along now to rear seat space. And let's start in the Tesla. And this is where Tesla owners are going to tune out because they know what's coming. It's not the best in the Tesla. Now, that being said, I'm 6 feet tall. I'm not going to knock it. Let's show what we do here. Okay. All right. Here I am in the Tesla. I'm 6 feet tall. Nice thing is you've got a glass roof, which hides the fact that I can only fit my fingers above my head right here. Again, I'm 6 feet tall and I fit. Now let's look over here. Here's the one problem I've got. I stretch my toes out. Let me just flip my camera around this way. My toes are out. They are tucked into the seat. Ooh, this is not a good view here. I can't move them any further forward. So that's where my toes are. I promise you I won't move them. Let's flip the camera around. Ooh, that's not what you want to see either. Let's try to avoid my face. There we go. All right. If we're looking right down here on the seat, you can see that really my legs aren't supported from about here on up. My legs are up instead of on the seat, and then they're down. it's just less comfortable back here. There's no way around it. Tesla makes bigger cars that are more comfortable in the back seat. Again, I do fit in the back. If you are a finger width taller than me, you won't fit. If I get rear-ended, my hair, what's left of it, is going to touch the glass as I go back to the headrest. So, you know, again, nothing wrong with it. I fit back here. I can go through short trips, but not a ton of space. Let's check the armrest out. Let's throw it down. It does fall to a good level. It's a little low on me. Let's just see here. I'm trying to show you here. A little bit low for my elbow, but not bad. I'm leaning a little bit towards it. 2 cup holders in here, so I kind of like that. Plastic back seats, good job. Tesla is copying, let's flip the camera around here. Tesla is kind of copying Kia on this one. Plastic back seats, you guys all know I'm a huge fan of that. If your kids are sitting back here, you can wipe them down easily. Right back here, you've got vents back here and 2 USB ports. I don't think you can control the flow of those vents that I see. I also don't see any ports back here at all. A little bit smaller pockets here, but you do have them on both sides. Again, this feeling of these seats is the front seats especially are narrower. Let's look up here. LED lighting, small LED lighting, but nice LED lighting nonetheless. And it looks like a little coat hook right in there. So nice little coat hook there. Now, what is cool, again, what Kia screwed up on the 2020 Soul, and they could have done better, is check out above my head. That's not just a sunroof, that's the rear window. So you do have this dark tinted, but still glass, and it looks cool back here. Looking up, looks pretty cool. All right, let's jump into the Niro next, and then the Soul. Oh, I don't think we want to go that close to my face. Rear seat in the Niro. Niro's pretty good size. It's not bad. So again, back here, you do have heated seats. Remember I mentioned the heated seats from before? 2 levels of seat heating. Car's off right now, so you won't see that light turn on. Now, the seat moved back, so let's put it fair, because this seat has what they call comfort access. So when I turn the car off, the seat moves back. So I'm going to put it back to where it was, bring it forward by turning the car on, and there it is. I'm comfortable where it is. Okay, let's jump in the back seat. If I don't turn the car off, the seat won't go back. Now, if you can turn that system off, it's defaulted to on. All right, hopping in here, some design details. The 2020 happens to have a little bit of coloring in the perforations in the seat here. Let's hop in. All right, real quick. Niro, how am I doing for headroom? Well, before I had, 1 finger width and that was it, I got a good 2 inches more at least. So that's pretty good. The seats are a little higher in the Niro or in the EV than they are regular. I'm pretty close to on the seat. It's kind of like a mid-level. I'm not down on the floor. I can't move my feet any forward, same as I did with the Tesla. So again, not perfectly on here. On the regular hybrid Niro, you will be able to put your knees flat on the seat. On the EV, they raise the floor a tiny bit. So again, generally more comfortable here. Certainly more headroom here. If I put my head back, I've got tons of room the whole way. Headrests are adjustable in this car. Looking over here, oops, let me go flip the camera around. Looking over here, you do have plastic back seats. You have a netted pocket here. It's going to be a bigger pocket on this Niro. Same thing over here, both sides, plastic back seats. You guys all know why I like them, because you can wipe them clean if you've got kids back here. But you have more space in the Niro. You have vents back here that you can aim. No USB ports back here, but you do have that, regular plug right back there, which you can see is powered. The red light is powered. You can turn that on or off. So USB ports are plenty in the front here, but in the back, instead of USB, you have a regular plug. Just something different. I've got some shipping plastic on the light here, so if I can get that off, there we go. You will see the lights here are also LED, bigger lights. I would argue probably brighter lights. Does it matter? I'm not sure, but yeah. You've still got a hook over here to hang the garments, but you've also got a handle here. Ignore some of the shipping plastic that comes with the car. But yeah, big thing is back here, a little bit more space, and also those heated seats. So heated seats are a big difference. Let's check the armrest. I will say that the armrest is a better height. I don't know if I can show you that here. A little bit higher in this car. So for me, as a slightly taller person, come on, camera, there we go. It's a little bit higher. There we go. A little bit higher here. You just have to trust me here. I kind of like the way these cup holders are across instead of this way. I think that just gives you a better spot for your arms while still having drinks there if you like. Let's take a look at the Soul. That'll be the last one we look at. Rear seat room. We're going to work our way to trunk space. We've gone over 35 minutes already. I do apologize for going over 30 minutes, but I think if you guys are interested in these cars, maybe it's worth it. If it's not, you guys have the option of tuning out. Kia Soul, known for headroom. Let's just put it out there right away. Again, 2 levels of seat heating back here. So you're going to have that in these cars. You're not going to get that in the Tesla. Jumping in here, I'd say the best backseat out of all. And this is one of the reasons I bought this car myself. Headroom is tons. I mean, like literally tons. I could fit a fist and more space up there. So you're going to get more headroom. You just are. There's no way around it. My legs are flush on the seat the whole way. I've got good knee room, good leg room. This one doesn't have a pocket. Let's just switch around this way. Doesn't have a pocket on the driver's seat. This one has a USB port, a single USB port, not a double USB port like the Tesla. And it has a pocket back here as well. Bigger pocket again than in the Tesla. Armrest, same sort of situation here. Falls a little bit better height than the Tesla. This is the highest armrest of them all, which to me is a better, let me just flip around here. There we go. It's a better height than in the Tesla. And again, I think a better arrangement of having this because they can do it wider. I would say it's probably wider back here. The other thing that I want to mention is in the Tesla, the side of my head is very close to the side of the vehicle. Now, again, Teslas are known for safety. So are Kias. Let's not kid ourselves. Kias are extremely safe. But I feel like I have more room here. Certainly the width is better. Height is better. Everything is better for rear seat space and front seat space as well. Bigger front seats. The front seats in that Tesla are definitely narrower than both of our Kias. If you're a bigger person, I'm not a bigger person, but if you are a bigger person, I think you're going to find the seats in the Kias to be better. All right, real quickly, let's look at trunk space. Trunk and frunk. First of all, Kias have no frunk. There is no front storage area. We use that area for a motor, and we use that for other things. There is a lot of space in there. There are some people that sell some aftermarket accessories that give a little space in there. I'm not going to speak for or against that. I don't think Kia would recommend it, but I don't know if there's any reason to say no. That is an aftermarket thing that I have seen. I'm not going to, like I said, I won't speak for or against. Bear with me here. This car has not had its little panel here installed, but that's okay. So this panel, let me see if I can do this with my left hand. Hey, I can. Pretty impressive. Can't do that with a Tesla. Installs on with one hand. All right, so there we go. It does have the panel up top here, which you can fold. You can completely take out, as you saw. This one here has a 2-level floor that I'm a big fan of. My wife and I use this all the time in our car. You can drop it or lower it. Let me show you how easy it is to do that. Put my hand in on this tab, pull it up like this, slide it into there, and now the floor is at the level of the rear trunk here. So fairly deep trunk when it's down like that. That's how we tend to keep ours now. I like it up and down. Sometimes if you have smelly gym shoes, you can throw them underneath the floor there. There's your charger there. But you can just, that's an option to do. Otherwise, my wife likes it down for when she gets groceries. Nothing's going to fall out. Aren't Teslas classified as luxury? Some people call them that, but I think what's classified as luxury and what is luxury are an interesting statement in the car industry nowadays. So again, nice size trunk there. Not the biggest trunk as far as length, but good size trunk. And the biggest difference with this car, especially the Soul, that big square opening, if you want to go to Home Depot or Lowe's and buy a dishwasher, slide it in, and take it home, you can do that easily in the Soul. It's just not a big deal. Same thing you're going to find with the Nero. Now, the Nero has a longer floor. Here's my Instagram if you guys were wondering about that. Again, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, the Google Maps, I have a picture of that from about a week or so ago. I'm not forcing you to follow me, but if you want to know what I'm doing, there's my Instagram. All right, Soul, same thing, or sorry, Nero, same thing here. Instead of that folding panel, you've now got this panel here. Now, the funny thing is about this one, this is sort of that roller blind style cover. You can hide this roller blind cover underneath the floor right in here. So you can just slip it across there, which means that when you take something large, instead of being able to lower this floor, you've got underfloor storage, which you can see there. Good amount of underfloor storage, lots of space. There's a cargo net in that yellow bag, so you can have a cargo net that's standard with this car. But you can put that cover underneath the floor, which means, again, huge opening here, big opening. And when you fold those seats down, you can fit something in, and the cargo blind is still in the car. So longer floor here, and maybe not quite as tall as the Soul, but pretty good. I would say the Nero is a little bit of a winner on cargo space compared to the Soul. And now let's check the Tesla. Tesla is not a hatchback. Square opening, but much smaller square opening. Now, I am impressed with the storage space. It's not nearly as wide. I can see that, or it doesn't appear to be nearly as wide. It's good length. It's the longest floor out of all of these vehicles, so that's good to have. And they do have good storage underneath here. So you still have a very deep storage well. So I will say that the storage space in the Tesla and in the Nero and in the Soul is excellent. However, that big opening limits your use in this. You may want an SUV in the family to take anything that's a little bit of a larger opening. Take a quick look at the frunk, because this car does have extra storage in the frunk, which is the front trunk. And we'll just jump in here. We'll hit the open button right here. There we go. Frunk storage, if you've seen it on the Tesla Model S or Tesla Model X, you may be a little disappointed in the Model 3. It is shallow, but it is there. So again, overall storage space, probably going to be similar between the cars with the seats up. Tesla may even win if you're filling it with sand or water. Practical storage, I think the Niro probably wins. The Soul probably wins as well. Small pieces and stuff like that, pretty cool. So somebody says they're disappointed in the Tesla in general. I'm not. I think the Tesla's a great car. What I'm actually more impressed with is how really good the Kias are. And I think people are so surprised to hear that Kia makes really good EVs. So let's just classify some things that I think are better. More choice in regenerative braking, better regenerative braking. I would argue the range, although this one's rated for more range, the real world range, we're seeing real world range of 450, even up to 500 and beyond. I have a customer the other day talking to us about his 527 kilometers of range. He went from Brantford to Michigan, did his running around, came back to Brantford, all on a single charge, and had 60 kilometers to spare in the Niro EV. So real world range, not just what's shown on the dash, but driving range, we're right there with Tesla. They do some good things with Tesla. I really like the Tesla. Seat comfort, I'm going to say that goes to Kia. I don't think you can argue with that. I think it's just a little bit better. Ventilated seats in the front on the Kia. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto on the Kia. Wider seats, heated seats in the rear on the Kia. Lots of little things. Again, cool looking minimalistic dash on the Tesla, which I kind of like. However, a lot of the people that buy our cars like the familiarity that you get in the Niro, in the Soul. Things like the heads-up display in the Soul is a really popular feature that people seem to like. LED lighting on all of these cars. Again, I haven't used the auto high beam function on this car, on the Tesla, but on the other Teslas I've driven, our auto high beam system is better, 100%. It reacts very well, and it also turns off in the city. So when you're in city lights, it's not illegally on. What else have you got? You've got really good, all cars are quiet, all cars are fun to drive. Front wheel drive is something I didn't mention as well. This is a rear wheel drive car at this price range. That means in the winter, it's a rear wheel drive car. You guys know what that means. You're going to be either having some fun if you're me, or losing some control if you're not me. These cars, front wheel drive, throw snow tires on them. I'm very confident in their abilities in the snow. I've driven mine in the winter with front wheel drive. Very, very confident in their abilities. So again, the Tesla makes a better car than Kia. The problem is that better car costs more money. And even at the better car pricing, you're not going to end up with some of the features that are just standard on these models. So I still think there's a very good reason to buy these cars. That's why we have a lot of customers buying our cars over the Tesla. It's not just a price point thing. Some people actually prefer them. Some people actually prefer the body style. They actually prefer some of the features and functions. We talked about Autopilot, lane keep assist, lane follow assist, smart cruise control, the autonomous emergency braking, the safety features on those cars, the autonomous abilities of the Kias. We're not allowed to call it that because you're supposed to be hand on the wheel. But if you've ever driven a Tesla in Autopilot, you're supposed to keep your hand on the wheel as well. So a lot of those things that the Tesla introduced to the market are not exclusive to Tesla anymore. Their naming is, the way they work are, but really, practically speaking, these cars as well. So my wife works 20 kilometers from home, and she called me one day and said, why did the coffee cup come on my Kia Soul EV? And I said, probably because you're a terrible driver. And then she admitted to me, because it comes on if you're not paying attention, if you're letting the car steer itself too often, or if you're braking late, things like that, if you're doing that. So she explained to me, oh, well, I let the car steer itself to work. And that's on a Kia. So again, a lot of these functions that you know Tesla for, you may find, practically speaking, are a lot, are in the vehicle that you need. So there's a quick rundown. I'm going to see if you guys have any questions for me. We've gone way over time, but I've enjoyed doing this video for you. It's been fun. Why buy Kia Soul to Kia Soul GT line? We'll talk about that some other time. I'm quite disappointed when I got a notice from Kia that said I'm due for first service and it's not covered. Okay. That seems like a dealership thing. I'm not sure what that is. You're not doing a brake service after 20,000 miles. I just make sure I use them once or twice every time I'm out. Okay, so brake service. People think that using your brakes avoids doing a brake service. Let's talk about that real quick. Brakes grab and release. Doesn't matter what car you have, they grab and release. There's slider pins that they use to grab and release. Even if you're using your brakes, one, you may not be using the wheel brakes. You may just be regenerative braking. And even if you're on a gas car where every time you brake, you grab and release, corrosion still builds up. We live in Canada. There's a lot of salt on our roads here in Ontario. That corrosion is going to be accelerated compared to other parts of the world. Other parts of the world is what they're talking about with Tesla when you don't have to do those things. So that grabbing and releasing, that moving across those slider pins can develop some corrosion. On all of our vehicles, including on Teslas, we recommend having a brake service, getting those lubricated, keep them from corroding. Again, if you live in Arizona where it's dry and it's warm all the time, it might be different. But in Ontario, that's something we're going to recommend, not just for our EVs, for this one as well. Keep in mind, Tesla makes a business on saying you don't have to do a whole lot of service because they don't have a place for you to take it for service the same way we do with the Kia dealer network. Real quick, going to follow up with one thing again. I mentioned this earlier. If you're going to buy an EV, if you're going to buy a Kia EV, if you're anywhere in Ontario, and I really mean that, we sell across Ontario, I want you to buy from us. We've earned your business through these videos. We've earned your business through the work we've done, the research we've done. And one of the things you're going to get is when you call us up, and I have a lot of calls from people who have bought an EV because they're, quote, out of our market. Well, I'm 2 hours away from you. We serve people 4 or 5 hours away from us all the time. If you're going to buy a EV from us, or an EV from Kia, buy it from us, because we get calls from people all the time and they say, oh, this and that happened and my dealer didn't really know this, or what's the service schedule? What is it? And they, the dealers may not have read the owner's manual as much as we have. It's something as basic as that. If you buy from us, you'll get knowledgeable answers. If I don't have a knowledgeable answer, we will find that knowledgeable answer for you. We contact head office regularly if we have a question, and that's how we get to know these cars. You're not going to be able to do that with Tesla. You're not going to be able to call someone, get them on the phone, ask them simple questions or complicated questions. All right, there we go. We're 46 minutes in. I do apologize if I missed your questions. I want to keep this video no longer than it is. Continue to ask me stuff in the comment section after this video has been posted. I'll continue to answer as best I can. If you're going to trash me and say, hey, the Tesla's better, hey, that's cool. I'm glad you like the Tesla. Come buy a Tesla from us. If you're going to trash me and say, you didn't mention this, you didn't mention that, yeah, there's lots of things I could mention. But I do appreciate you guys watching us. Do appreciate you hanging out. And if I can get an extra couple likes on this video, that'd be great. If I could earn your subscription, that'd be great. We do a lot of EV videos. We do a lot of videos on Kia in general. And I'm certainly not afraid to talk Tesla if you want to talk Tesla as well. So thanks, everyone, for watching. It's been 47 and a half minutes of pure fun for us. And yeah, we'll talk again soon. Thanks for watching.